Blog Talk Radio.
Everybody, hi. It is the recruiting animal here on November 8th, 2017. November 8th, 2017. And, I didn't shout when I said that. There's a reason. I posted an ad looking for guests for this show in my Facebook group this week, and one woman commented that she listened to the show for 30 seconds, and there was so much shouting, she said, she had to turn it off after 30 seconds. She couldn't even last a minute, right? Well, you know what? She's got her preferences, okay? But they're not the right ones. They're not right. And I'm going to tell you why I feel I can say that with such confidence. Adam Grant published an article this week about arguments. And Adam Grant is not the recruiting animal. I'm a nobody. He's a famous psychologist, right? He's a somebody. He wrote a book with Sheryl Sandberg, you know that woman from Facebook? And she doesn't hang around with losers. Okay, I'm building him up so you respect what he said. Anyway, Adam said that when the Wright brothers, those guys who made the first airplane, when they thought together, they fought together. Do you get that? They brainstormed. When they thought together, they fought together. Wilbur said, I like scrapping with Orville. Okay, there was Wilbur and Orville. I like scrapping with my brother. And you know what? When they were designing the propeller for their airplane, they fought for weeks before they realized that both of them were wrong, and it was the battle they had that actually led them to the truth. It was the battle that showed them a way. And Adam Grant says that if you've never had the opportunity to see people arguing, you're not going to understand what healthy conflict means. And you're going to want to run away like that lady, right? And that's why some people don't like this show. Mm-hmm. But Adam Grant says, I'm almost done, Jared. I'm glad you agree.
I'm getting kind of pumped up about it. It's going to be a good show. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Adam Grant says that if you give yourself a chance to see arguments as they're happening and participate in them, you won't be so sensitive, and you're going to become someone who's willing to fight and lose and fight again, and that's what we do here. We fight to the bitter truth on Jerry. What show is this?
The recruiting animal. My dear friend, Animal.
Right. Welcome back from your expedition out to South Dakota or wherever you went.
Great.
And Jerry went with Will Thompson. They're buddies now. Okay.
Oh, we've been buddies for a long time.
Okay,
Not
but you're
just now.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Good.
Those Texans, though, I mean, they think they're a rugged lot, but get them up in a little bit of wind and below 60 degrees, it messes with their whole thing.
Jerry, I'm cold. Mommy,
I'm chilly.
Mommy. Yeah, okay.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, good. I want to thank my sponsors. Martin Snyder, he's the boss at PC Recruiter, the Swiss Army knife of recruiting software, and Nin Tran, Nin with an H, Tran, the COO of Hire Tool, HIRETUAL, the super-duper sourcing tool, and Nick Livingstone, the CEO of Honeit, HONEIT, the online phone online interview technology. The guy sending me emails before every show telling me what I should say, screwing me up. It's online interview technology, okay? I also want to give a shout-out to Sister Allison Cruz. She listens to the show while she's running. That makes me feel good. If anybody else runs and listens, give me your name. I'll say hi to you, too. Okay, Kenny Poulter, who I only know from the Facebook group. Yeah, he's here. The guest is here. And that's a good thing. And I'm going to give you his Twitter address, even though he doesn't really use his Twitter. It's at Poulter Ken. Poulter Ken. Not poultry, Poulter. How come, before I ask anything else, how come you don't have your LinkedIn profile linked? You don't have anything in your Twitter bio. Why not?
Well, you know what? I don't really use it, just as you said.
A smart
That's not a good reason.
It's basically just a data point for somebody. If they're looking for me, they can come back and find me.
Well, if they're looking for you,
they're
not going to find you because you don't have any information there. Okay, but let's move on. I just thought I'd mention it because I think you need some help. Okay, but you have a good elevator pitch. You have a good self-introduction. Give it to us, please.
Well, for this program, as I talked to you earlier, I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm a sole practitioner, but what I do as a headhunter is totally congruent with my lifestyle. In every way. It's sort of like headhunting to me has been sort of like an experiment. I am the experiment. And I use those experiences and so on to be good at what I do. And I'm a salesperson.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're saying here.
Yeah, what I'm saying is...
but wait, let me say, I like where we might be going. I'm just not sure where that might be.
Yeah, well, let me specify.
I'll pick door number 3. Let's go there.
Yeah, recruiting is part of my lifestyle. What does that mean?
Well,
you
what
don't
it
know.
Is
that sounds good.
It actually it does. What my point being is that it's the common thread of my life as far as how I earn a living and how I deal with people and some of the skill sets I have as a salesperson.
Have you ever married one of your clients or gone out with your clients? That would be part of your lifestyle. That would be a full integration.
Okay. I didn't marry one, but I did date one at one time.
Okay, I don't know if that's legal anymore. Okay, but let's move on. I've got a survey question now. I hope it's not offensive. So sex harassment. I have never really encountered it in my working life.
Stop. Hold on a second before you go any further. Are you seriously now going to have... Do you sexually harass people, or have you been harassed? As some weird kind of survey question, like you did the old "How many placements have you made from Twitter" stuff years ago?
Yeah, no.
Is this the new thing?
I want to know.
Because if so, I want out.
No,
you can't make light of this, dude. It's the thing now. It's not a joke. Maybe it is in Canada.
Quiet. Yeah, be quiet for a second. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not asking if the guest sexually harassed anybody or has been sexually harassed. I want to know if they've been aware of sexual harassment as an issue in their working life. That's an honest question. Go ahead.
I think in the days, it has come to my mind a few times, especially in today's environment. It is something you have to think about. I do think about it more so than I would like. Because I think it's to a point now where it's almost a joke.
Yeah, but have you ever seen it at work? Okay, do you know of real life instances? Yeah, a lot of them, or just really?
Wow. We all do, man. Other than shut-ins. You're a shut-in.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess.
Well,
really,
let's be real here.
Well, the other thing, too, that's bad because in the sense of define sexual harassment. Define it.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
that's
one person's sexual harassment is not another's.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it'll make people more conservative. I don't think I'd tell anybody, oh, you look nice. in the future. I wouldn't say anything like that. Okay. Have you taken any recruiter training? We're moving slowly. Let's pick it up. Have you had any recruiter training? Who
yes.
or what? What did you do? What did you do?
Well, my hero is Steve Finkel.
Oh wow!
I don't know. His name may not be around much longer, but I got onto him back in 1989, and I structured my whole recruiting workflow behind his concepts, and they still work today. Yes.
Okay. Well,
now I like Danny Cahill. There's a lot. There's a lot of great trainers out there today. Danny Cahill, Neil Levatis. I think he does dynamic sales.
Leibovitz.
Leibovitz.
Yeah.
Leibovitz. He's been a guest here a couple.
John pronounce his last name, please.
Leibovitz. Yeah,
okay.
Leibovitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in retainer and blended engaged and all that kind of thing. I think John Bartos has got some stuff, some really good stuff. Another guy named David Bartos, Bartos, Bartos.
Okay, didn't know him.
Bartos Group.
Okay, yeah. Who else? Who else, Ken?
Well, I said Danny Cahill, but Johnny. Now, John, I like John. David, there's another guy out there just recently that came on. You might have seen him on Facebook, David Patterson. He's an SAP guy specialist, and he's got a deal on Facebook now called David Patterson. Now, that might be somebody you might want to have on your show.
Okay, I got a bit of a problem with having trainers because, they charge for that information. I don't like just, pumping them for free. Okay, so you know what? You've been around for a while. I hear people saying all the time, people used to be better conversationalists before they had email and smartphones. I don't think that's true. What's your opinion? Who's making all that stupid noise with the phone?
Your new caller. You got a new caller that's totally abusing the entire show here, Animal.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't care about
I'm going to have to block everybody. Okay. What about Ken? What about were people better conversationalists in the past?
In the context of recruiters or headhunters, or just people in general?
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I think they're both the same thing, but go ahead. Headhunters.
Well, not really. Well, I think your best headhunters are the best conversationalists. The point being is, if the question is do people like to have dialogue? Do they like to have conversation? I have found, yes, they do. Like whether you're recruiting candidates or you're talking to clients and hiring managers. Matter of fact, if you are a good headhunter and you like to pick that phone up and actually talk to somebody, all right, it's a differentiator in this market.
Do you make cold calls?
Absolutely.
Okay, so your first point of contact, you've got the choice of email, text, or phone. Which is it?
Phone.
Okay, and do you leave voicemail?
Yes.
How many voicemails will you leave?
Well, if I'm loaded for marketing in the morning, I might leave 40 or 50.
No, for one
per
person.
individual, per target.
Yeah. Oh, per target?
Yeah, I'll help you, Animal, with some of these questions.
Thank you.
It really depends on It really depends on. Let's put it this way: I'll leave up to on a first contact basis, someone I've never talked to in my life. I might leave one on a first call, but then the next day I might leave two. But the thing is, I don't go.
Wow.
Well, I do. I guess you could call it a little bit of a warm call and not a cold call, because if I pick the phone up and call somebody, I will have probably either looked at them on LinkedIn or talked to somebody in their organization and got some background on them. If I can leave something in the voicemail, hey Jim, I understood that I see that you were at such and such a company and you had worked with Jim. I'm going to be contacting him later today, but I understand that you would be a good person to talk to, even though I haven't even talked to this other guy or what have you. But I will call that other guy and leave a voicemail or talk to him if I get hold of him directly.
Hold on.
It's not that hard.
Hold on. But what you're telling us is that everybody you call, other people in their organization already. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll know their name. It won't, but I will insinuate that in a subtle way that I might have talked to them already.
Okay, even if it's not really the case. Is that what you're saying? Like,
yes.
If I say, yeah, like I might say that, hey, Ken, I spoke to Steve Rothberg the other day, and he thinks you're a great guy, and I never really called Steve Rothberg to ask.
I won't say that. I will not. I won't say that unless I've actually talked to the individual.
Okay.
I do a combination.
What do you,
all right, when I play, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I do a combination. When I make a call list up in a planner to execute the next morning, all right, I will have done enough research at least to have 2 or 3 names that person might be familiar with, or companies that he worked with. Okay, that's something I can leave in that voicemail. I don't mess around in the voicemails that long. My voicemails probably don't last longer than 12 to 15 seconds.
And you get all that information in it? Give us an example of how you use this information in the voicemail.
That's what gets me today. When I've trained recruiters for other clients as a consultant, and I got in this business when you went to the library and asked the research assistant to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, and wrote it down, and I took my legal pad and wrote it down on a legal pad. Okay, I look at today's technology. This information is instantaneous almost. If you know what you're doing, you can put data points together very quickly. All right.
Yeah.
So
I like this guy. I like where you're going
there.
here.
The point being is that most of your
let him talk. Gotta interject a little bit now, and it's let him talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of these recruiters. Yeah. Most of these recruiters today.
Just Ken. You keep talking. Don't stop talking when Jerry says
You're
something.
cutting him off right now yourself, man. So
let him talk,
listen
animal.
to yourself. Let him talk, animal.
Yeah. Most recruiters today, they get into this. It's a psychological habit. It's to do work. In other words, if they can get on the internet and compile a list of 40 people with email addresses and get an email campaign out, they call that a good day. All right. With me, if I'm compiling an email list, for instance, my level of urgency, if I happen to see a resume that I think is really, really good, okay, even though I'm in the mode of that task was to make a 20, 50, or whatever email list campaign, if that guy's got a contact number, I'm going to call him. Okay? I'm going to stop what I'm doing right there, and I'm going to call him.
About 10 minutes ago, I asked you, what does your voicemail sound like? And I'm still curious. Okay, what does a voicemail sound like? Can you do a voicemail for us right now?
Yeah, I can
you're
tell you.
Calling somebody.
Yeah, my name is Kim Poulter. You and I have never spoken before. I'm a headhunter. I talked to Rob Ross at such and such a company, I've been communicating, or I'm communicating with Rob Ross at such and such a company. I've got something I'd like to talk with you about. This is my number, and then I repeat it twice, and I get off.
Oh, you kind of name drop then. Name drop.
I name drop.
That helps
I name drop. Well, I do that because I know I'm going to be following up. I'm not counting on that person calling me back. All right, I already have a plan. Okay, and I am going to talk to that guy.
Mm-hmm. And so the first day you'll call him up. You'll leave that one message. The next day, if you haven't heard back from him, you'll call twice. Did you say you'll call someone twice in the same day and leave 2 voicemails? A voicemail each time you call. Is that what you told us?
Right.
What about the third day?
Well, by the third day, I'll have his cell number.
What's up?
By the third day, I'll have his cell number. Why? Because you have talked to him already,
or well, let me put it this way, or sooner, because I know. Now, when I make that first call, if that's a C-suite guy, all right, he's got an executive assistant somewhere. All right, I'm going to be talking to that executive assistant that same day. That's probably going to be the next call. Okay.
Oh, really?
I'm
what
also
are you going to say to the executive assistant? What do you say to him or her?
I'm probably going to say, Jay, my name is Kim Poulter. I'm with Galt McQueen. I've got some information I want to share with Jim Ross.
Yeah.
What's his schedule look like today? And I don't do this stuff like good.
What's it about,
I'll say
Dan?
It's of a confidential nature. I can only speak with him.
And you get through on that basis?
Well, she may not put me through, but my whole objective is to get a cell number.
and she'll give
this
it to you.
guy's tenacious.
Yeah,
well, that's
you know
what you have to be. If you're good at matching, if you're in a niche that you know really well, okay, and if it's true what they all say, if you just want to deal in theory, everybody is. They used to say 6 degrees apart. Now they're 2 degrees apart. All right, you are going to find somebody. If you go on LinkedIn and find it and look at the data points of who's associated with who, and you got 10 people that, let's say 10 that's associated with this guy that you're trying to get in contact with, if you reach out to those 10 people are tenacious enough, at some point you're going to get a cell number.
Really, how do you reach out to them? What do you say? Hi, my name's Ken Poulter. I'm trying to get in touch with Billy Vaughn, and I see that you're connected to him on LinkedIn.
Is reach out an animal bad word?
It's a terrible word. Thank you. Thank you,
Great
Michael
work,
Peacock.
Gallery.
Okay. So anyway, you want to contact this guy, and
I'm
you
a
call
headhunter.
a stranger. Yeah.
Well,
you call a stranger and say, "Go ahead."
If that person, let's say the second guy on the call list is connected with the guy I want to get in touch with is a project leader and works for this guy and reports to him. I'm going to call into this guy. All right, I'm going to tell him, hey, this is Kim Poulter with Galt McQueen. I'm a headhunter. I just finished a search for a project leader. All right. Your name came up. I thought you might be a person to know. So I'm going to get a conversation with that guy because I'm a headhunter. All right. Depending on how I come off and the rapport I establish with him, which you got about 10 seconds to establish a rapport or less, at least a rapport to a level where you can escalate it back up and start getting some information. All right. And here's the thing. Let's say the guy's going to talk to me 9 out of 10 times. He's going to talk to me. All right. Even if he hates headhunters. You know why I know that? Because he doesn't hang up. Because he doesn't hang up. He doesn't hang up.
Okay, you know what? This has been confusing for me, but I understand that you network with people you don't know to get somebody's cell number. That's what, Jerry, am I right about that? Is that what Ken just told us he does? He'll call around to people. He'll call around to people he's never talked to before.
He's a headhunter. He's going to get that number. He's a headhunter.
Have you ever
keep
done
in
that?
mind, well,
It's his lifestyle.
Here's the thing, though. Everybody you talk to is never wasted. Let's say he doesn't give me his cell number, all right, but he tells me about a project they're working on there and why he's unhappy. Well, I got a candidate. Plus, I've got intelligence of what they're doing. I got information in my back pocket. So maybe the next voicemail I leave to the guy I want to get in contact with, hey, I understand you're working on an SAP implementation. You're having some problems in this area. Now, how do I know that? The other thing too is this is what they don't get up. What I'm saying is you got to know what your destination is at the very beginning. Your whole spill, your whole workflow has to be working in one direction. It has to be totally congruent. Okay, no call is ever wasted.
Oh, okay. So, but you have to be working in a niche in order. Yeah, you have to be working in a niche in order to make every call worthwhile. Okay.
Well. Now I can talk about that too because I have.
Okay, but let me do an ad. Wait, let me do an ad before we do that. Okay, you hold on to that. I'm going to do a quick ad, and then we'll come right back. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Recruiting Animal here. Thank you, Ken, for PC Recruiter. You know, when PC Recruiter first became a sponsor of the Recruiting Animal show, I told Martin Snyder, the CEO, that part of what I was going to do was personal branding for him. But you know what? It's been over a year already, and I haven't done that until now. Now that's my mission. Now is the time for you to find out something about the man behind the company, right? Martin Snyder lives in Cleveland, and I feel free to call him a man of the people because once I posted a picture of him in a suit on my Facebook group, and he told me, he said, "Animal, you're making me look like a gangster, like the boss of a bunch of gangsters." And that's not how Marty wants to look. He's a down-to-earth guy living in the real world with his customers. You can find him on Facebook every day, and you can ask him a question about applicant tracking systems. Everybody's always asking questions about applicant tracking systems. A guy is right there. You could take advantage of his knowledge and his information for free. No strings attached. Nobody ever asks him, right? But you can. I'm telling you that, right? It's part of my personal branding program for Martin Snyder. And you know why you can ask him? I'm almost done. Because Marty loves recruiters. You can be doing direct hire, executive recruiting, temp staffing. Marty loves you. And his company wants to give you good service, right? It doesn't matter if you're a big company or a small company. PC Recruiter cares about you. And you remember what I always say? Big or small, they fit them all. Big or small, PC Recruiter fits them all. So check them out at PCRecruiter.net. PCRecruiter.net. Jerry, was that good? Is that good for people to get a sense of who Marty is as opposed to the company?
Yes.
Jerry's gone.
This is Ken.
Yeah. Oh, it's Ken. Okay, good. Thanks, Ken. Jerry,
I want to say you got a great sponsor in PCR Recruiter. They're a great company to work with.
Oh, really? Tell me,
Yes.
do the ad. Come on, what do you use PC Recruiter? Is that what you're telling us?
I started using PCR Recruiter back in I believe it was 1999. Okay, their desktop version, and then their server version, and I just looked at their new version here about 7 months ago, and helped implement it at a retained search firm. So it's a great product, but it's the training and it is the people. It's the attitude they have. You're not blowing smoke when they love recruiters. Okay, it's a very versatile system. It's adaptable to however you want to work.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, what did I leave you hanging on something? Oh, we were talking about niches versus generalists. You were going to say something about that,
right?
Were you?
I've worked niches, but my marketing or sales campaigns is marketing candidates. That's the basis of what I do. You can get very fancy and start trying to brand yourself and all these other things they talk about, and those things are good. Don't get me wrong. But myself, I've always marketed candidates. Even if you're not very good, I started out in this business doing that. Steve Finkel taught me that, all right? And I had 12 years of sales background selling $1 million computer systems before I got into recruiting. And so I had the sales skills. But it was the easiest way before I knew the industry to sell my services. And I've stayed with it forever, and one of the reasons I've done that is because it's congruent to what my personal philosophy, and that is that individuals make a difference, and I believe that so strongly that it permeates everything that I do.
What does that mean? Individuals make a difference. If they like you personally, they're going to do business with you. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, there's that, but what I'm on sort of a mission, and I have been since at a very young age. I've excelled in a lot of things and done a lot of different things. I worked in corporate America for 12 years. I was the President's Club guy, every one of them in sales. I was an engineer before that. I was 6 years Navy in nuclear power and submarines, etc. I've always excelled at what I did. And when I got in the corporate world, when I excelled what they wanted to do, they would always want to limit me. If I made more money than my boss, they would try to make me a manager or divide my territory up. And that's one of the reasons I got into recruiting. So what I'm saying is I look for individuals that make a difference. When I talk to a hiring manager, I don't care if it's at Google, I don't care what the company name is, I'm talking to an individual. Okay? That's where I come from. So I am a real catalyst. I want people to get ahead in the world. It's similar to the way I was when I was younger, and et cetera. You there?
Okay, so yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Does that make sense? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're all here.
Okay. We're all here. Jerry, I like this guy's energy, although I'm having trouble pinning him down on certain things. So let's get to that business development thing. You just look up, CEOs or some manager that you're interested in on LinkedIn. You find a candidate that might be good for that person, and you go at it, or what's your business development process? We're very interested in that lately. That's our focus.
I would have to go. If I was going to get in a new niche I knew nothing about, other than what I had researched on the internet and gathered information about. I want to talk to CEOs. I want to talk to project leaders. I want to talk to the people that are subject matter experts in that area, and then I start those conversations. It's the research of the LinkedIn and getting in touch with those people. That's sort of the front end of the load. Your real search assignments are the real ones that you close. In my case, anyways, are ones that I have discovered through contacting and talking to people. The real ones, not following up on stuff that's been, a job ad out there that somebody's posted or something like that. Okay.
So hold on a second. Wait a second. Wait. Because Jerry says that you can't get through to people. You can correct me, Jerry. He can't even get through to people to talk to them.
It's nearly impossible lately.
Okay, and what Ken seems to be saying, he could get into a new niche tomorrow. He'd look up a bunch of the relevant people on LinkedIn. He'd start phoning them. And what would you say to them? Hey, I'm going to start working in this industry, and I was wondering if you'd have a chat with me to tell me what the important issues are. Is that what you do, Ken? Fill us in.
Well,
give us some concrete details.
Well, it's like right now. I've gotten there in the last 8 months. I've gotten into data scientist, machine learning, etc.
Yeah.
I didn't really know anybody in those areas. I hadn't worked those areas. So the first thing I did was go out and try to find a candidate. And I would talk to data scientists. I would talk to data scientists. I would tell them, hey.
Well, how did you identify the data scientist? LinkedIn
or GitHub or is it Google or Kaggle? Excuse me. And
Kaggle, yeah.
Just do a Google search that says subject matter experts, data scientists, okay?
And you're
going to get some
up?
names.
You'll phone them up. And what will you say to them?
Too.
Well, what will you say to them?
Well, when I started, what I would do is just say, listen, I'm a headhunter. I just moved into data scientist, etc. I've some of my past clients have been Cincinnati Financial. In other words, companies that hire and use data scientists. All right, and then basically sell them on possibly marketing them or what how they got to where they were at, or I'd have some questions about certain areas in data science that I knew they were an expert in, and people, it's all about that first approach. It's all about honesty and being real and authentic. For me, okay, I have found that if you are like that, go ahead.
So you just identify people, you call them up, and you say, I want to work in this industry. Can we just talk about your background a bit? Essentially, you turn them into part of your candidate database. Is that right? That's essentially what you're doing.
Well, I ask for help. I pick a topic or something I know they're an expert in, and I say, look, I need some clarification here. Dave, you got 5 minutes to help me out here a little bit, okay? And this is after I've already introduced myself. And the majority of the time, now some people will say, I haven't got time for you, or you can tell by their tonality. If you work a phone enough, and I have done it for 30 years, all right, you pick up on all these little subtleties, tonalities, rhythms. You're intuitive as to how they're feeling about that call at that point.
Okay. So Jerry, he's been in the business for a long time. Jerry's kind of like your cousin, I'm going to say.
No, this guy's got way more energy than I've got.
No.
I'm the laid-back cousin.
Yeah, you're laid-back. But you've got the same kind of accent. You're very business-oriented. But all of a sudden, Jerry says it's not the same as it used to be. And you don't seem to agree with that. You think you can get in touch with anybody.
In a sense, I do agree with him, because that's why I have moved totally out of contingency, and I don't work any client without either full retainer or some kind of blended shared risk model, okay, with an engagement fee up front or something like that. I will not work any contingency. I do that for other recruiters, though, that I work with, that I know, because I know they got a real client. On splits, or I get paid up front for basically just providing them a qualified candidate.
So are you working on higher level roles then? You're not competing for, web developer assignments and stuff like that. You're a little up the food chain.
Anything over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what Jerry should do then? He'll just change his industry or his candidate model? I mean, he's saying something completely different to you. He said these hiring managers will not talk to him on the phone.
But let me also add, though, it's not just me. Many of our peers are running into the same thing. It's
let's hold on to
far
that
more difficult now to get somebody on the phone. It just is. It's not. It's not my opinion of it. It's a fact.
Well, here's the thing,
Well,
and Jerry's right. It is harder. But I look back in my early career where I spent a lot of time gathering information and names. Today, on that end of the time cycle, in other words, time you're going to put into that recruiting cycle, the front end load is less, much less. Okay. And now it's sort of shifted. Yes, it's harder to get actual. That's why. Look, you got to look at the ultimate. You want the cell number. We all know that if you text somebody, even if they don't know you, you're going to get a response in 7 minutes or less.
Okay, here's the difference between you and Jerry. Jerry, this guy will pound people.
How come we're dissecting me all of a sudden? I'm not the guest here. I'm not on the operating table.
No, okay, but
I'm a bit uncomfortable.
I won't use you. But my point is, hold on. Ken Poulter seems to be able to get in touch with the people he wants to get in touch with.
He's better than me. Is that what you want me to say? I admit it.
No.
He wins, I lose.
I'm not better. Listen, you know what? I don't even know Jerry, but I can tell you I am not better than Jerry. Okay.
Okay, I got to do an ad. I have to do an ad. Let's put that on hold.
Before the ad, let me just summarize. This guy is just aggressively, in a nice way. This guy is far more determined to get somebody on the phone than me. It's just that simple. And that's obviously what it takes in today's market is that added measure of determination. It's not as easy as it once was.
One of his LinkedIn the recommendations, the endorsements, the guy said he's very persistent.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Now
I
we know
understand what it means. Okay, but the point is that he'll pound these guys, and they don't hate him. Maybe because he's got a nice personality. Got to do an ad for my good friends at Hire Tool. HIRETUAL. Hire Tool. Hire Tool, everybody, as you well know, is a full-service sourcing tool. You tell it what you want, and it writes Boolean strings for you. You don't have to know that much about Boolean strings because it knows. Right? It's like a Chinese menu. One from column A, one from column B. I've never run into a Chinese menu like that, but that used to be the joke about those menus. Anyway, don't say I'm a bad person. Okay, hey, look, here's what Hire Tool does. You tell it what you want, it gives you the Boolean strings, then it returns a bunch of people, and it ranks them from the most likely candidates who match your spec to those who, are farther away from it. It tells you what, it guesses what their salary is going to be. It guesses who is most likely to be ready for a move. And it does it over a wide range of websites like LinkedIn, like Facebook, like GitHub, like Stack Overflow. Okay? All of these, and maybe Kaggle too, just like Ken was talking about. And I'm going to tell you what people say about it. One of our most famous guest, Amy Miller, says, I don't use LinkedIn much anymore, but I've been using Hire Tool a lot. That's Amy says that, okay? Michael Krause, he says, I use Hire Tool because it's fast, it's efficient and accurate. I highly recommend it. It's going to save you a lot of time. I'll just give you one more. Here's a guy I don't even know, Stan Rolfe. He's on my Facebook group. He said it should be in your top 3 tool list. Never leave home without it. Hire Tool, Hire Tool, Hire Tool, HIRETUAL. Go look for Nin Tran. Just like Marty Snyder, he's all over the place on Facebook. He's happy to talk to you. He'll give you a demo. No strings attached, no high pressure. NINH Tran. HireTool.com. Thank you. Okay, you know what? I'm finding this interesting, so I really don't want to ask if anybody else does. But, yeah, you are persistent, and nobody seems to get mad at you, Ken Poulter, even though you leave them a pile of voicemails. We're always told, oh, no, you don't want to bug people. You don't want to bug people. They're going to hate you. And that's my experience, too. If I leave 5 voicemails for a person, when they call me back, they don't like me. They say, didn't you take a hint that I didn't call you back because I didn't want to talk to you? Okay? You don't get that. Am I right about that?
But he called you back, didn't he?
Yeah, because I bugged him. He calls me back, but not because he wants to take a look at my job.
Michael, in your personal life, How many people have you pissed off? Okay, and
50,000.
then later on, all right, and then later on they were friendly, right? Once they got to know you.
They hate him for life. You need to know this guy's backstory. He's been making enemies across the globe since the first WWW came along.
Okay, here's something else. Here's something else you do. If you got a reluctant candidate, well, actually, when you do your intake session and take your job order or search assignment, whatever you want to call it, you're pretty tough with the hiring manager. You say, look, if I find somebody who's good and this person is reluctant, can I promise him that he or she can have a 10-minute phone conversation with you just to have a chat,
Absolutely.
nothing formal? And
Yep.
You get your guys. Do they ever resist that, or do they all agree? Hey, I'm open to that.
Well, to me, it's a deal breaker. If they won't do it, I won't do business with them.
Oh, really?
It's a way of qualifying. Bill, it's a way of qualifying. If you're working contingency, okay, that's a way of qualifying. How real is this? Do I really want to spend some time on this, or do I want to just trial balloon them with some paper I've got on my desk?
Adam, I think we've got the American David Perry here.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm sensing the same energy, determination, and you got to set the rules, man. And if they don't follow them, then you just can't do it.
Okay, so you'll say to these. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, it's an attitude. I mean, you got to believe in what you're doing. You got to believe.
Okay. And so you say to them, look, these people are hard to find. If I get someone who's on the fence, you know what really works? If I can make sure that he's going to speak to you personally for 10 minutes, can I count on you to come through with that? And if he says, look, I don't think that's something I like to do, you said, look, it's an absolute necessity, or I'm not going to work with you. Do you put it that bluntly? How do you say, I'm not going to work with you? I mean, this is a deal breaker for me. How do you say that?
Yeah, you pre-frame them up to that point. After they've talked to you about the search assignment and you've qualified it, like all this stuff. I got a checklist I go through when I qualify a search assignment when I'm taking it, and then at that point they've spent some time with you, at least 20 or 30 minutes with you. That might be a second call back to them on a schedule, but at that point, that's when you say, "Look, John, I've been very successful. All right, and I can find this person that you're looking for right now. Somebody's already doing it somewhere else, and they're going to be a great candidate." One of the things, though, that I'm going to have is when I talk to these individuals, they get excited, all right, and I get them motivated, all right. And if you ever bought a new car, you know what a new car smells like? Well, that's similar to what I do with them. They start smelling that new car and they want one. In order for us to control this process, if I've got somebody on the fence, can I commit to a 10-minute exploratory call? Okay, with this candidate, it's just sort of a meet and greet. Can we do that? And then I listen, and then I shut up and I listen. And I can tell you, if you frame it correctly up front, the majority of them will say, "Yeah, I can do that." And there's another thing I also do.
But I want to. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, there's another part in there where I present candidates verbally. I don't send a resume over. Okay. I do after I present them. All right. So if I call my client, I've already got an agreement with my client. If I call you and I leave you a voicemail, okay, if I need additional information, etc., I will be contacting you. All right. Can we say that you'll go ahead and get back to me in, say, 24 hours? Now, if I've got a candidate, though, someone who's fired up, is motivated, somebody I know you're going to want to talk to, all right, and I leave you a voicemail that I've got that individual, all right, can you get back to me within, say, 8 hours? And I make a verbal presentation I give them a snapshot of my candidate. If they want to talk to the individual, at that point, I send them over the resume. I contact the candidate, etc. And another thing I do in my intake side of it is I tell my candidate and even when I'm recruiting, and I tell my client, I will not extend an unacceptable offer.
Yeah, okay, let's come back to that one, okay? I just want to do another ad, but first I want to ask Michael G. Cox a question. Michael G. Cox, you still with us? Still there? Anybody can answer. This guy makes me feel good listening to him. Jerry, do you have that? I just like it. I feel good.
I feel a bit I feel a bit lifted right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna badger just a few more people today.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna do
Jerry,
another ad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Kid. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, that's great to hear, but when I have, we all have bad days, right? Some days we're like really on top of our game. Other days, man, we're just going through the motions, or we feel like we're going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I do, and I don't know if this will help you. All right, when I don't want to make cold calls, or I don't have the energy to talk to somebody and educate them, et cetera, and bring them along the path. All right, I basically what gets me on the phone is, you know what, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have fun today. All right, and if somebody, if I don't, well, you just throw them a curveball. You get them into that rapport area, and then you start getting them to talk about the business side and what your conversation is about. All right, and if they cop an attitude on you, or they throw a curveball at you, and you don't have enough energy to absorb it, or something like that, you could just say like, "Hey, Jim, I don't know why are you making this personal. The call was going so well." Really. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's all well and good. I don't struggle with people on the phone. In fact, I'm probably one of the best. But it's getting people on the phone that seems to be.
No, I don't want to give the wrong impression that Jerry's a fantastic and very successful recruiter, but he has come to a bump in the road that I think is very interesting.
I'm just recognizing the reality that
Jerry,
many of these people. I'm telling you, man, they don't want. They don't want to hear from your sorry ass.
Oh, Rich Rosen, the guest told me before the show that he feels he's in sync with you. Okay.
I love it. He's like a classic MRI recruiter. I love it. That's my same training.
Jerry, do what's in your best interest. As I said earlier, if that guy calls you back, or he's still on the phone and he's pissed off at you, he's still on the phone.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. And I don't end up in situations where people are pissed off at me on the phone. In my little world, the reality is I'm not on the phone with somebody because they're not answering my call, and they're not returning my message, my cool, thought-out, engaging, rapport-building, curiosity-tweaking message that gradually escalates in urgency over the next 3 or 5 days. There's just none of that.
Think about the high when you do get them. Think about the high when you do get them. It's like climbing a mountain.
Okay, I got to do an ad. We'll be back
I'm with you, though, man.
Everybody.
I'm with you.
We'll be back in a second, everybody. Hey, I'm back here. It's a 24-hour job, I know. Just let me get this out, okay? PC Recruiter. I want to talk about them again. But Marty, in case you're listening, you already had 2 ads. I mean, I did an ad, and then the guest did an even better ad. He said he's been using you for the last 20 years. And you know why? Because PC Recruiter is configurable. Right. And Paul Lipman said the same thing. The same thing as today's guest. PC Recruiter is a shapeshifter. It does what you want it to. I'm always telling you that PC Recruiter loves you. And how do they show their love? They bend themselves to suit you, no matter who you are, big or small. It fits them all. Our guest today, Kim Poulter, he's a solo recruiter. He loves them, but it sounds like he's installed them with another company, larger companies. It's very flexible. That's the thing, okay? Michael Kraus. Didn't I mention him before? Yeah, with Hire Tool. He's very got a lot of opinions. And he points out that it's fully integrated with Hire Tool. He loves that because you know already that he loves Hire Tool, and it works really well with PC Recruiter. So go check out PCRecruiter.net. They're the hippies of the recruiting world. They love you, okay? Now we're going back to our guest, our very lively guest, and our very inspiring guest today, Ken Poulter, who I never even knew before, okay? So, you walk away. Rich Rosen, did you want to say something or just say hi? Is that what you...
No, I think he's great. I think he's great. He's a good classic MRI-trained recruiter back in the day. It's the best way to do it. Everyone always talks about these stupid emails that don't get anywhere. If you recall, you have a 1,000% better chance of reaching someone. It's such a better way to work. It's such a more productive way to work.
Okay.
Yep.
And I posted a very good clip from the Recruiting Animal Show on video at look it up. It's called The Cold Caller Speaks, and it's 2 minutes of pure Rich Rosen. Okay? It's very good. I recommend it. It's very good. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Ken, we're in the
Yes.
home stretch
Yes.
now. Is there something that I should keep? Wait for you to bring up? Is there a topic that I haven't raised that you want to talk about?
No, you're right on point.
Okay.
I've been doing this so long and examined it so long in my life. I have an opinion. I have an opinion about a lot of things in this business, and I have some very strong beliefs, personal beliefs.
Okay. Well, let me ask you if you can share those at any moment. Just tell me, hey, I have something important I want to say. But if you're not going to do that, I have a question. Do you attempt to persuade someone who says they're not interested in a job? Because, for instance, you said you just moved into the field of recruiting data scientists. And you know what? That really interested me. How you made a choice. This is a hot area. I'm going to move here. This is how I'm going to do it, okay? But let's say, so you don't know a ton yet about data scientists, I assume. You call up someone, you present a job, person says, no, I don't want to move right now. What do you do? Say thanks? Who else do you know?
Well, there's all kinds of ways to approach that. It depends a lot on what led up to that answer. Okay. Now, if the guy within 10 seconds, when I say I got the one thing I never lead with, I got a job. Okay. I stay away from the word job. All right.
Okay.
Nobody wants a job. I might break into my Cheek and Chong. I don't want no stinking job. I might do that when he says that, and that's what I would tell him. I'm not offering you a position. That's not what I do. Okay. What I do is help people explore opportunities, and all I'm offering you is an opportunity. All right, to talk to people in your industry. All right, that later on, the only thing that my services don't cost a nickel or a dime. The worst that can happen to you is you're going to go and you're going to actually talk to some people in your industry, which I think you're going to find very interesting. They may offer you the job, they may not, but I don't offer jobs. I'm just offering you an opportunity to explore it. And that goes back into that 10-minute conversation, that exploratory conversation. When you tell a person and you got them on the phone, you say, listen, you know what? I like your background. I like everything you're talking about. Let me put you together with my hiring manager just for a 10-minute phone call and just explore the opportunity. And I also tell them that I don't set the expectations that that's an interview, okay, or that if they're going to offer a job. It's just two people getting together talking about their industry. And if there's any kind of interest there, to pursue it. That's what you do. And that's how different, you can read everything about how to differentiate yourself from the competition and all these other things, okay? But these things I'm talking about, they get somebody's attention. If I talk to a hiring manager and I say, listen, I've got this guy out in San Francisco right now, 10 years, data scientist, he's working for a startup, blah, 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 okay, would you be interested in having a 10-minute conversation with this guy?
No.
Okay. Because the candidate, I've already set the candidate up on how I'm going to work. If I'm marketing him, okay, and he knows I'm marketing, I've already sort of set the ground rule. Hey, this is what you can expect.
Right.
But see, if you don't set this stuff out in the very beginning, all right, then what are you offering this? I look at all these email campaigns and these guys. I mean, I get myself. I probably get 40, 50 emails from recruiters, and I've got 6 voicemails already this morning. All right. My point is that everybody.
All right.
You want these guys. You want all these email campaigns to keep going on because you are unique.
You are an absolute fucking con artist.
Who's that?
What
jerk is doing that? I don't know. I'm going to have to start going through the. Somebody's on the line talking either to somebody else or trying to screw up the show. I don't know. Let's see. If he keeps doing it, I'll just have to tune him out. When do you let them get off the line? Because, I'm sorry to refer to Jerry again, but he is an expert. And he said, I spent
Stop calling me an expert.
Okay. He spent but you say you've spent, 27 years not bugging people or being willing to say no? Or
And you see where I am now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't struggle. Jerry doesn't struggle with people. How much will you struggle with them if they are resistant?
If it gets to that point, I've already set them up. I'll try to get referrals.
How do
for
you
example.
do that? How do you do that?
Well,
when
I go in, I sort of set it up where if I see the guy is not who I need or who I want, at that point I might say, Jim, talking with you and everything, you're probably out of the market for this client. You've got way too much more. You got more experience than my client requires, and compensation wise, you're probably not in the market. But this is a good opportunity. Can you think of anybody that you've worked for and that you might be able to help out that might be qualified for? Someone will say that where you were 5 years ago in your experience. I'll start there. All right. And at that point, of course, you get a lot of, well, I don't know anybody that's looking. And then you come back and say, well, I'm not really that interested right now in talking to somebody who's looking, just somebody that might be qualified. This is a great position for somebody. Who do you know? And that might work 30% of the time, about a third of the time, maybe you'll get a name. Okay. If I can't get referrals, and through my conversation with him, he's working for a company, and he's told me a little bit about what they're doing there, there might be an opportunity there to get a search assignment. So I might
from him
go a little deeper.
From him or someone else? Go ahead.
From him.
Sorry.
Well, he's telling me about a problem.
Okay, hold on.
there.
Let me do my. Oh, wait a sec. Let me do my final ad, and then we'll do that. Because this new guy, I got a new sponsor, Nick Livingston from It. He listens to the show. His is the final, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just goes to the recording and listens to the last 5 minutes, because his is always on the last, just before the show's over, and he listens and he sends me emails before the show and says, this is what I want you to do. I don't like what you're doing. You do this, okay? So I'm going to do an ad, okay, for Honeit, HONEIT.com. You know what? He asked me. It's a tool. It's phone interview technology. You go to the website, right? And Jerry knows all about this. You go to the website. Your candidate goes to the website. You interview the candidate through the website. It records the interview, and then it transcribes it into text. So it's easily searchable through a regular search engine, and then you just have to press a button when you come to an important question. You press a button, and you ask your question, and then when you're finished talking about it, you press another button, and it creates that discussion as a clip that you could just send over. You want to hear what this candidate has to say about this key issue? Here it is. Here's the candidate. It's straight from the horse's mouth. Okay? So there's no more taking notes. Everything is written down. It's very searchable. You can hear it yourself in the audio. What more can you want? From Honeit, HONEIT. Let me see. Okay? Let me see. Your natural phone conversations. I don't know. Why do I have to say that, Nick? Of course it's a natural conversation. Focus on your conversations instead of scribbling notes. Never forget a detail. I said all those things. Easily schedule your calls and search your conversations. You're repeating yourself. Hey, and when you hear a great answer, share it with clients to let your candidates speak for themselves. I said everything. Honeit, HONEIT. Phone interview technology. Okay, we're in the final home stretch, Ken. We can either finish off talking about getting referrals, but let's put that on the back burner. You said you've got personal philosophies. Do you have some idea that you would like to share with us before we end the show?
Well, I'm
putting you on the spot. You don't have to. Go ahead.
Well, I have a lot of those, but I guess the point being in this business, or just like life, the secret for me has been, I always tell younger people, I've got some guys I mentor, some younger guys, and I always tell them, fail quick. Fail quick. And the beauty about this job is, no matter, however creative you want to be, you can test the market right away. You can find out if you've got a pitch you want to pitch out there that morning, whether you're recruiting or trying to find business. You can try that pitch right away. By noon, you're going to know whether it works or not, and you can refine it. All right, that's number one. Number two is you should always do what increases the probability of winning. Okay? And just as in learning anything, you have to be honest with it. The easiest thing in the world is to be honest with yourself and understand your limitations, but don't compete with compete with your strengths. Try to figure out what your strengths are, and you're actually in the market and you're competing. Go with your strengths. Don't go with your limitations. All right, practice your limitations and you exercise your strengths. Whether you're playing poker or you're in some team sport or whatever, you always go with your strengths when the chips are down. You don't go with your weaknesses.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to fail.
Okay, great. I really enjoyed the show. Thank you, Rich Rosen, for coming. Michael G. Cox talked for a second as well. Of course, Jerry was here. And our guest, our new friend, Ken Poulter, Poulter. If you want to chat with Ken, he's on recruitingtricks.com. Jerry, are you a member of Jerry's group as well?
Which group is that?
Recruiters who actually make placements. I'll tell you about it later on. Okay, everybody. Thank you.